Okay, two ways to dig into anything politically related to Hillary and the Clinton machine. First, you can catch the words of former presidential candidate Ralph Nader, who labeled Mrs. Clinton a deep corporatist and a deep militarist. Or we prefer to get it from the co-author of Power Grab, Obama's dangerous plan for a one-party nation. The man has been a staple inside the Beltway for many years. Let's then welcome back Dick Morris to the Hard Line. Dick, pleasure to have you back on the show here. And to listen to Ralph Nader, he also added, between corporatist and militarist, this is the problem of women trying to overcompensate in becoming more aggressive and macho so they're not accused of being soft on the need to kill and war, right? Did he get it correct?
Boy, did he nail that. Absolutely. Hillary understood in Arkansas when she watched other women candidates run in the South how crucial it was to be militarist in order to win. And Margaret Thatcher always was kind of a role model as to how she'd handle herself, as opposed to like Elizabeth Dole or someone who would be, you know, pro-military but not crazy about it. So when Hillary joined the Senate, she made a point to join the Armed Services Committee, which was like a first for a New York liberal, and then was a strong supporter of the Patriot Act, voted for the Iraq War, and even though she had a distaste for the military left over from her left-wing Wellesley days, she jumped in with both feet so that nobody would ever think she could not be commander-in-chief.
Well, let's go ahead and then turn to the family foundation that the Clintons have, because there's the second part of our story with the Clintons here this evening. The foundation donated $100,000 to the New York Times group. Gee, Dick, it's odd. It just happened to be the same year that the New York Times endorsed Hillary. I'm sure that you, like everybody else, are just absolutely stunned that this could be nothing more than a coincidence.
Well, the New York Times would always endorse the left, and I'm not sure that that is part of it, although it may be. The second part of what Nader said, though, is terribly important. You look at Bernie Sanders coming on like gangbusters, I believe coming very close to Hillary in that Wisconsin straw poll, enormously significant, that when the party establishment is polled, she won by only 49 to 41. And Sanders is just beginning to show this momentum. I think that the big issue he's going to use are both of the issues embodied in what Nader said: a rush to war in Libya, in Syria, in Iraq twice. There's never been a war that she hasn't approved of since Vietnam. And I think, secondly, corporatism. And I think the real problem in the Clinton Foundation is this incredibly close nexus between her and the entire financial establishment of Wall Street. And I think that that's going to hurt her badly. The conflicts of interest with foreign governments, the bribery in effect, those are all general election issues. But what can really kill her in the primary is being too close to Goldman Sachs.
Okay, 2 minutes that we have left here. I want to get your comments on two of the other candidates, if you will. Ben Carson, there was a Washington Post article which talked about potential sabotage within his campaign here. And there are those who say that actually Ben Carson has helped to sabotage his own campaign in so many ways. You buying any of this?
Well, Carson is still in the biographic stage of his candidacy. Obama never left it in 08. But where essentially he's running on his biography. And he has to make a transition to running on the issues. I think the problem with him is he is so soft-spoken and so McCain-like in the way he speaks that I just don't see him galvanizing the kind of strong support that a rookie needs.
Is that just it, that he just doesn't get out there and be forceful enough, Dick? Would that really make a difference, though, to push him over the edge and make him more appealing to voters, you think?
Oh, I do. I think that when you compare, say, Ted Cruz's ability as a speaker with Carson's, there's no comparison. Cruz is terrific, and Carson is just very boring.
Let's talk about then in the last minute we have one other individual who certainly is not boring no matter what he says, and that has to be Donald Trump. He basically said this weekend that he's going to run for the presidency. I think we all pretty much knew that. But then he calls the rest of the Republican candidates clowns, taking shots, using curse words, if you will, to talk about other candidates. This isn't going to really endear him to anybody, but is it going to get him votes?
Well, I'm a Donald Trump fan, but there's only one candidate for president I'd use curse words about, and she's not a Democrat. She's not a Republican. But I think that the issue with Donald is, can he harness that aggressiveness, that outspokenness, that truth-telling ability to really resonate with what voters are thinking? And I think that there's an enormous gap between what the conventional wisdom is willing to say and what voters themselves think. When you quoted Ralph Nader, that's a great example of that. That comment bridged that gap. It said what everybody thinks needs to be said and nobody would say because it's too political or politically incorrect.
Yep.
I think Trump will span that gap very brilliantly.
Always a great show. Don't forget the great book, Power Grab, Obama's Dangerous Plan for a One-Party Nation, and the co-author, Dick Morris. Dick, always a pleasure to have you on the show, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you again. And coming up next, what a Triple Crown winner really means to horse racing in America.